Update: Sidney Starr denies ex-assaulting minor following recent arrest, despite being accused of performing that yada da yada da out of the throat on a minor under the age of 16. Allegations should not be mistaken for fact. Then it says booking records accuse her of performing that on a minor at a hotel in Hapeville and confessing to the act. So they said you said you did it. But hey, what are the facts when truth exists, right? So we got something interesting happening today. I don't believe in karma, but if you do, this video is perfect for you. We got Sidney Starr under arrest. Man, let's get into it.
Charges in this story are disturbing, and I just want to say that before we get into it. Reality TV personality Sidney Starr is behind bars in Fulton County, facing severe felony charges involving a minor. Hapeville police arrested the model and television personality, whose legal name is Sidney Favors, on Sunday at the Embassy Suites on International Boulevard. Police say Favors is charged with battery against a child under 16 and aggravated child molestation. Starr, known for her appearances on reality and drama series including Baddies and Empire, remains held in custody at the Fulton County Jail. Investigators confirmed that the case has now been handed over to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for prosecution, and due to the victim's age, police say that no additional details will be released regarding the case at this time.
So folks are obviously looking at a picture that a Fox 5 Atlanta viewer had sent to us from, it looks like, is this one from when she was arrested?
Yes, this is from her arrest on Sunday at the Embassy Suites. We were, one of our viewers sent us this picture and sent us a little bit about the investigation. And so we reached out to Hapeville police after that and got confirmation of her arrest.
Yeah.
The reason why this is important, and even crazier story, is because of that song where every dude was lying. You know, we was way down the street or at our other girlfriend's house. We was younger though, you know, we was in our 20s, and we was butchering the hell out of that song. What is that song? And it ruined that song for all of us because she lied. And I know, yo, Nash, you called her a she. Yeah, I got a trans cousin that I care more than all y'all, and my cousin watches the channel, so shout out to my cousin. And a lot of y'all call yourselves with money. Y'all act like y'all rich. Y'all act like y'all ballers. I don't call y'all out and be like, you actually broke your shit. So don't get mad at me. I love my family. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. But hey, this is fairly fascinating. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the song I just butchered, don't worry. Roll it.
She never provided any pictures except for that one picture when they met at the concert. Everybody ate it up because that's what they wanted to believe. You know, at that time, people weren't as open to accepting certain things as they are now. But being a black male dealing with that issue, people were going to turn on them. And they like, we just can't afford to have that type of bad press right now.
That time.
By lying and destroying another black man.
No.
Yes.
No, Adam. No.
Ruining his career.
Shout out to Chingy. No, what happened was, after that happened, but at that time, no one was talking about Chingy at that time. I actually made the world start talking about him again. But I became a warm-hearted, good person in my soul. I apologized. I made a video on World Star Hip Hop and apologized.
But what did you do? But what did you do to?
I tried to make things right.
No. But what did you do to make things wrong?
Took a picture with him and lied and said she had sex with him.
Got it.
No.
Got it. Well, I just wanted to. I wanted to be clear.
I don't like that. What happened was I went on.
But you said, Sidney, you said you were going to simplify the answers.
Okay.
You said you was going to make it simple, and you was going to make it simple.
The thing was, I made a mistake. I'm only human, and I would never do no bullshit like that ever again.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing, right?
Got it.
Nothing.
The big controversy first was this young man by the name of Chingy. Explain the relationship for me.
It was definitely a friendship and, working at first, but, basically ended up turning into something that we did on and off things for a nice little minute.
So are you trying to say it was an on and off sexual thing?
Yeah.
Did you trick him?
No, I actually did confirm with him.
So you didn't pull the old school okie doke?
Oh, no.
You were gonna simplify the answers.
Okay.
You said you was gonna make it simple, and you was gonna make it simple.
The thing was, I made a mistake. I'm only human, and I would never do no bullshit like that ever again.
But what did you do?
I didn't do nothing, Ray.
Got it.
Nothing.
Couple months later, same individual go crying on the camera, talking about how they lied for 15 minutes of fame because they want reality show and stuff. But guess what? That individual got a reality show. These things that they wanted happened. Why things I was doing died. It was a heavy blow. It took years to recover from. I'm talking about years, probably over a decade.
So if you believe in KARMA, you want to see this shit because Sidney Starr lied on Chingy, messed his career. And that's one of the reasons why, in part of this video, I don't make content on what people do in their bed. Because a lot of this shit be cap. And when y'all lie on these people and y'all capped out, you get sued and you lose. Because y'all will run something and say this person was sleeping with this individual and all this shit, and it turns out it's wrong, and then you did irreparable harm, like got rid of sponsorships and all of this shit and everything, and endorsements are all gone. Yeah, they're gonna come get the money from you. Don't worry, it's gonna happen to a blogger. I'm just not gonna talk about it because one blogger is doing this shit right now, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. That blogger headed for disaster when it's all said and done. Don't worry, just wait on it. But the report came out, and it's very, very fascinating. I'm not an advocate for this person, for Sidney Starr, but we are going to tell the truth. All right, man. So you have Sidney Favors. Now, listen to the community, you know. This is what the police put, so get on the police, don't get on me. They put a male at 5'6". I'm going to be completely honest. I thought Sidney Starr was way bigger than this. I swear, for God, I thought this month had to be like 6'2" or something like that. I guess not. Anyways, battery against child under 16. Hapeville Municipal, aggravated child, touch, and right up to tutor. I got a question about that, though, because I remember this clip.
Good to go.
Thank goodness you've had your surgery.
We're good to go.
Wait. What surgery?
Adam, I had the surgery.
The dick is gone?
It's gone now.
Shut up. What'd you do with it? Can I have it?
You might have to ask the doctors. You might have to ask my surgeon.
I mean, it would be a crime if they just threw that thing in the dumpster with everything else they're chopping off.
Do you realize it's been a year since I've been here, right?
A year? Really?
October 1st will be. I came here last October.
Okay.
So a lot has happened since then.
But you told me you weren't going to. Oh, no, you said that if somebody paid for it, you would get rid of it.
Someone paid for it.
Who? Shut. You paid for the surgery?
For it. Yep. He paid for it with that Saw money. That Saw, remember he was on Saw? They killed his ass right on the spot.
Did they?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Saw, so I'm kind of in the dark.
Yeah, they killed him right on spot, but he got that Saw money, dud ass. He got that Saw money, and guess where that Saw money went? That Saw money went to my SRS surgery.
The Saw money ironically went to sawing off your cock and balls?
So it sounded like Lil Buddy was in there tearing that ass up. Like little dude was in there hitting that shit because according to Sidney Starr got his snip. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be gone. So how that's possible? Let's continue reading on with this shit. So here's what we were able to find so far. Anyways. The court read these constitutional rights to the defendant. The accused defendant, Sidney Favors, was arrested 8/2/2026. The crimes enumerated in the Superior Court case number 26P10006064 and appears before John DeFore II today, where the following occurred. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint an attorney for you at no cost to you or your family. Then we look at the checkbox, and it says, The court set a total bond amount of numbers deferred to Superior Court. Attorney Kylie, I don't know, whose phone number is 404, we don't really care, was appointed to represent or represents a defendant. So it sounds like they already had a freaking lawyer. Anyways, I'm blurring out the person's address. Do not put this person's address up there. They can say that you are, doxing them. Attorney Kaylee, the defendant's case will be placed on the pretrial indictment status calendar. The following may occur at the pre-indictment status calendar for defendants who remain incarcerated in the Fulton County Jail. Bond consideration or preliminary hearings may be held. This calendar will be held as follows on 8/25/2026. God dang. So it's going to go blank real quick because I don't feel like reading until I get rid of this address. Then it says, if the defendant addresses changes, we don't really care about all that. But this shit is oddball as hell. There's only two things that happened. Only two. Sidney Starr was selling it. How? I don't know. But somehow that youngin' found a way, had some money, cashed out, and that's that. And provided services, and he was paying for it, and he went and he seen Sidney, and he did his thing, and I guess trying to get out for free. It's like, hey, what? You ain't gonna let me get this for free? You gonna expose me? Nah. This is one of the things I think happened. I think Lil Buddy went in there, lied, and basically was supposed to pay to hit it and did not pay. And Sidney Starr like, well, if you don't pay me, I'm about to expose you, not knowing that Lil Buddy was a whole entire 15-year-old. I think the kid was 15. That's what I believe. And so in the midst of Sidney Starr threatening to expose the person and all this shit, which would technically be revenge, POR. You can get sued for that. So, ladies, while y'all thinking to hold some of these men hostages, you better realize you can be sued and arrested. But I believe that happened, and Lil Buddy said, oh, for real? Well, here's my High School Musical card. And called the police. That's what got Sidney Starr arrested. I don't know if that actually happened. That's what I believe. Or Sidney Starr got set up. Could be, hey, youngin', lied about his age, all of this shit, met on a dating app, and slept with each other, and all this shit and everything, and I don't know. It could be a multitude of things. It could be somebody who knows Sidney Starr, could have set Sidney Starr up and sent the little dude in there and all that shit and everything, and knew what they were doing, and then none of this shit happened, but the allegations and probably talking dirty, texting and all this shit, and set Sidney Starr up. I don't know, bro. This shit is oddly weird and all this shit, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say, hey, the LGBTQI plus community, all they do is hit kids and all of this shit and everything, but remain quiet on the Epstein list because nobody has been arrested in the leading population in taking kids' innocence and messing with their own kids. They are very silent about that shit. So please don't act like you give a damn about kids being touched when all of this shit is in existence and y'all like to battle people on stats and say black people kill and commit like 62% of the crimes, which is bullshit. It's 37%, which is a very high number. But due to so many things I could point out, you'd be like, shit, unfortunately, pulled over at a disproportionate amount. Literally beat the cases more than 70% of any other skin group of people. Exonerated, not guilty, and charges dropped. Black people lead by 70% in every single one of those categories. Oh, and by the way, just because you get arrested doesn't mean they drop the stats. Sorry, they don't do that. They don't recant the statistics at all. It's kind of funny how that works. Numbers. Y'all believe in that bullshit that they try to push, but there's certain stats that they stopped keeping statistically after 2016. Antiquated stats, crazy shit. But hey, should we care? No. Because Sidney Starr, you had no problem ruining Chingy's life. You had zero problem. You only later came back years on down the line and said, I actually made that shit up. You got on Vlad and cleared it up and was like, yeah, I actually didn't do this to this man. But you had no problem going on the radio and lying on the man and ruining it and all that shit. And once again, Seti Nash does not run content on what people do in their beds, because at the end of the day, let's say I ran something hellacious. Let's say I said, oh, well, this rapper cheated on their spouse with another person, and I got something shit and I put it out there, I'm the source. Or I had to come back, recant shit and all this shit, and if I don't, I can be sued. Yeah, I'm cool. And at the same time, I don't give a shit what y'all do in y'all bed with whoever y'all do it in. I just don't. Everybody into some freaky shit. I know somebody right now who said, man, listen, Sidney Nash, man, I'm afraid to take the damn thing off. I don't want any babies. And I'm like, bro, you ain't never unwrapped it to actually use it. You are a 45-year-old virgin. You shouldn't even be worried about that. You should be trying to get that shit away, man. Go find you a 60-year-old woman. Shout out Jerome, bro. Yeah, shout out Jerome. You a bitch ass nigga. Don't troll me again. I'm on your ass. There's a lot of people watch this shit. Y'all gonna be like, who the hell is Jerome? Play with it again. I'm gonna create some AI on that ass. Watch this shit. Yeah, you in a goddamn retirement home. Please don't be friends with me and troll me and think that you gonna talk shit and make it seem like, oh, I like women who are goddamn 3'1" and 500 pounds and yeah, I'll get on your ass with this shit. You like grandmas, motherfucker. Anyways, sorry. We having war in comments. So, anyways, subscribe, turn on bell to notified, and share to keep your people in cartel mode. They said it was pissy mattresses in there, but if you ever made a woman squirt, you know piss is piss. Just squirt is piss. Just want y'all to know that. A lot of y'all never made a woman squirt, so let me help you out. Part of this story you're gonna hear is disgusting. When they say pissy mattresses, if you ain't never made a woman squirt, that's pee. Don't smell like pee. Don't taste too much like pee, but it's still pee. Click right here to see all about that video, or click right here for the playlist, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Yeah!